How can you use Apache JMeter to test the performance of a web application with complex load balancing algorithm? To test the performance of a web application with a complex load balancing algorithm using JMeter, you can follow these steps. Step 1. Identify the load balancing algorithm. Before testing, it is important to identify the load balancing algorithm used by the web application. This will help you to design the test plan and simulate the expected user behavior. Here is a quick look at the available load balancing algorithms. 1. Round robin. 2. Weighted round robin. 3. Least connections. 4. IP hash. 5. Least response time. 6. Random. 7. Consistent hashing. Load balancing policies like sticky sessions or session affinity and load balancing rules like how traffic is distributed to servers based on their capacity are also the important details that we need to be aware of before proceed with step 2. This information can be obtained from the web application documentation, server logs, or by directly communicating with the system administrators. Step 2. Create test scenarios. After identifying the load balancing algorithm, the next step is to create test scenarios that mimic the expected user behavior. This involves defining the number of users, the type of requests they will make, and the frequency of those requests. It is important to test different scenarios to simulate realistic user behavior. For example, if the web application is expected to have heavy traffic during peak hours, then the test scenario should include a higher number of concurrent users during that period. Other such examples include spike in traffic, increase in requests per second. Step 3. Configure JMeter. Once the test scenarios are defined, you need to configure JMeter to run the tests. This involves setting up the appropriate thread group, which defines the number of virtual users that will be simulated during the test. You also need to configure the load balancing settings in JMeter to mimic the load balancing algorithm used by the web application. This includes configuring the IP address, port number, and path of the servers that are being load balanced. You can check the description of the video or click on the information message on the top right-hand corner of this video for the detailed steps on how you can configure the Apache JMeter for load balancing. Step 4. Run the test. After configuring JMeter, you can run the test and monitor the test results. JMeter provides various reports and graphs to analyze the test results, including response time, throughput, error rate, and server performance. You can use these reports to identify any performance bottlenecks and fine-tune the load balancing algorithm to optimize the web application's performance. Step 5. Analyze the test results. After running the performance test using JMeter and simulating various load scenarios, it is important to analyze the test results to identify any performance bottlenecks and optimize the load balancing algorithm. Some of the key metrics that need to be analyzed include response time. This metric measures the time it takes for the web application to respond to each request. High response times indicate that the web application is struggling to handle the load and the load balancing algorithm needs to be optimized. Throughput. This metric measures the number of requests that can be processed by the web application per second. Low throughput indicates that the web application is struggling to handle the load and the load balancing algorithm needs to be optimized. Error rate. This metric measures the percentage of requests that result in an error response. High error rates indicate that the web application is struggling to handle the load and the load balancing algorithm needs to be optimized. Server performance. This metric measures the resource utilization of each server in the group. High resource utilization indicates that a server is struggling to handle the load and may need to be replaced or optimized. By analyzing these metrics, you can identify any performance bottlenecks and optimize the load balancing algorithm to ensure that the web application can handle heavy traffic loads without any performance issues. Here is a short summary on how you can use JMeter to test the performance of a web application with complex load balancing algorithm. Using JMeter to test the performance of a web application with complex load balancing algorithms involving identifying the load balancing algorithm, creating test scenarios, configuring JMeter, and analyzing the test results. By following these 5 steps, you can ensure that your web application is performing optimally and can handle heavy traffic loads without any performance issues.